Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It is Skylar Scribbles, and in this video I'm flipping through my completed pages for June in all my planners and journals. And very quickly I want to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed. I hit 900 subscribers. I don't know when I did it. I just was checking to respond to some comments for my mid-year lineup video, and I just saw that I had 900 and it was so fun, and I'm so excited about that. I do have a goal to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, and I honestly think that is very doable. I feel like my growth has been a little bit more accelerated this year, but I also think that I'm posting more. I am very much more consistent this year. I'm just like, I don't know, I feel a little bit more inspired to post more. So, you know, if you haven't subscribed, this is your reminder to do it. Yeah, I just love all my planners and journals and pretty things and stickers. So, you know, if you like that stuff, you're in the right place. So let's start off with the mini Happy Planner. This was my most used thing this month. I went traveling this month to California, to the national parks, and this is what I felt comfortable opening up as I traveled, keeping notes in and all that stuff. So we'll flip through here really quickly. It really is nothing but like a to-do list, and I do tip in pages if I feel like I need them. And of course, because I was traveling, I wanted to make sure everything was aligned and okay and I had everything. I'm added in a lot of pages. So this is how it is looking. During my trip, I actually did write down what our plan was, and I think we followed it pretty much. So it's like a good summary of what happened too. This is this week, and again, just going to do list. I really am comfortable being in this planner, you know, scratching out stuff, doing stuff willy-nilly, adding what needs to be added when it needs to be added, you know, very flexible. Oops. So here is the next few weeks in July. I played with this, like, this is like a regular planner kit from Squirrel Prince Co, and I gotta say, like, I loved playing with it in this planner. I have like a few more kits that I haven't used, and I might go back to it because it's been a while since I played with like box stickers and stuff, and a mini. And then that's really it. And so also I added a section. So this is where like more detailed memory keeping happened when I was on my trip, you know, like I wrote down where we went so I could do more in-depth memory keeping later. But this was what I really wrote in, and I was glad that I brought with me on my trip. It was just very flexible to like put stuff in and stuff. But yeah, and the rest is just extra pages that I didn't use. But yeah, this has been like my favorite thing this month. I feel like every month I'm like, I really like it, and I'm like, yeah, it's working. So I'm not really changing that. And that's really, to be honest, that is the only planner I use right now. So any plans, like solid plans, goes into that book. Here is my Sterling Ink in 1 TN size booklet. This booklet is about to end. Currently right in the last week. And this, I think, still is my favorite thing. It is so easy to update and maintain, and I really just enjoy like decorating this journal because that's what it is. I think I try to focus on the positive, or like what was the highlight. But yeah, I want to go back and fill this in, but I don't know. I think I had a plan with me in this one this week. And this is how the memory keeping came out. I just put a few pictures, but I think it looks very cute in this traveler's notebook size. I'm amazed at how much I can fit in a week, and I love it. And this is the last week that we are in. So pretty. So yeah, and I actually have like little notes about like what I want to do for 2026, because this week is repeated in the next booklet. So, you know, I'm trying to keep notes of why I like this, because I really do like this a lot, and I do think I'm going to do it for next year. some people have some good suggestions in my mid-year lineup that I didn't think about, so I might have to look into that. But I did want to say this is probably the last time you will see this one unless I play with it a little bit. My A5 Take-A-Note. I'm going to let it go for the plans by Just Scribble. But in June, I think that, you know, I just got a little tired of it. Again, like, it's just like I'm not feeling it. However, you know, I'm still journaling. My trip, I'm not going to come back and put it here because I'm going to put it in my mini. And I have some plans for my 8x8. But yeah, I'm sad to see it go, but I want to try some other things. So I'm going to let it go. This will go on my shelf. I don't like half completed things, but it will go on my shelf because I did still use it and it did its purpose. I just wanted something new to try. Here is my 8x8. 1 minute. Here is my 8x8. And really, what is it? Oops. And really, this is not done. I hope to have a more in-depth video about my memory keeping and stuff. But this is not done because I want to put some stuff from my trip. And if I don't make a specific memory keeping video, I promise to show it in July's flip too. Because I don't usually set these up in advance. I usually wait halfway through the month so I can see how much space I need. But I will say these Dutch doors are looking very cute. This is paper. I think the plaid is from Coco Daisy. In this floral I've seen in many places. I think Michael's. But yeah, I have a currently, I have the highlights and review and some affirmations that helped me when I was traveling. I get anxious a little bit when I travel, and it's not like I'm scared of the plane going down. It's just like, will the plane be on time? Like, it's time for me. It seriously is. Like, sometimes I'm not sure. I did not bring this on my trip. I think the only things I brought on my trip were these 3 notebooks, and honestly, I was mostly in my mini. Because I think it's easier to maintain one thing, and I think it was most of my information was already in the mini. So, the last thing that I did, because I had plans in July to go to the plans by Just Scribble, I am trying to figure out how I like to journal, right? And so this is a Staples notebook. I think I usually use these for work notes, but I wanted to do an experiment this week on like how do I use a daily page. I think that sometimes when we use a new notebook, we lose sight of why we're using a new notebook. For me, I wanted a new notebook because I feel like a day per page will allow me to focus on the day maybe a little bit better. Also, every day having something new, like to turn the page, is fun. But we'll see how it turns out. But anyways, this is my little experiment for this past week because I didn't have my Take-A-Note. And all I had were these 2 things. And I was like, no, I want to do a day per page in like sort of a bound system. Anyways, this is like what I did when I was thinking of what I want to do. And basically every day this week I journaled in this, you know, cheap notebook. And I think that I learned that, like, first of all, I'm just naturally going to write down things. It doesn't really matter what the notebook is. I'm going to write it down. That's who I am for some reason. That's what I do for some reason. I tend to write, I think, most in the morning because I'm sort of like trying to set up my day. Today was Wednesday was I'm tired and I don't want to work kind of day. So it wasn't a bad day. I wasn't feeling the day. You know how you just don't feel the day right and you still have to show up? And it's like, I don't want to be here. So in the morning, I wrote all this down. Basically, I'm tired. And then I did pose myself a question, like, what made me feel better today? And when I wrote this down in the morning, it sort of stayed with me throughout the day. It's like, girl, you ain't feeling good. Okay, so what you gonna do? And I just felt like I had to come back and tell my journal something about what I did. So it sort of pushed me to try to do some stuff to try to make myself feel better. And I would say by the end of the day, I think that I had some energy. Just to say, I don't know, I think I like journaling in the morning. It seems like every day I have a little list, you know, I have a little list going. That's one thing that I noticed too. 3, all I need is washi tape and a color. You know, I like color, so I always like to change up the color every day, which is a note that I need to notice for my next one, because maybe I don't want to decorate the week in advance like I did for the 4th of July week. But yeah, here's another page of Thursday. Again, this Mind Unwind, I did it in the morning because I felt like I had to do so much and my brain was hurting a little bit. I think it turned my day around. And I don't know. It's just something about, I think I like writing in the morning to get stuff out of my head instead of doing like memory planning and memory keeping, which is what I was doing in the Take a Note. So I think going into the plans where I just scribble, I want to focus on like maybe doing it in the morning. And then if space is left over, filling it with memories. But yeah, anyways, this is today. So cute. I did film and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that this is, of course, because I'm going into the plans where I just scribble, I will, you know, not use this. I do want to say I do use this for work. And basically for work, I put like the date, I put like meetings and then a to-do list. It's it's structured because I don't journal about work. They don't care. I don't want to. So I just wanted to practice journaling because I really want to focus in on what I want to do with this new journal that Plans by Just Scribble. And what I want to do is enjoy journaling again. That's the purpose of the change in the switch. And I do feel very good about the style I'm going to do in that next book because I experimented this week. Anyways, this has been me talking about my planners and journals for June. Of course, I had one last experiment before I get to the new thing that probably I didn't need to experiment on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, I love to hear from you in the comments section. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so because I do upload content pretty regularly, at least once a month. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.